In the last lesson, you started working on your receptive skills. You developed your reading skills by practicing some reading strategies and attempting to answer questions about a text. Now it's time to work on another receptive skill, listening. It's no use being able to speak and write perfectly if you haven't practiced listening. Listening is an integral part of conversations. There are various factors that can make listening tricky, but this course will prepare you to navigate these factors and maximize your listening skills. In this lesson, you will learn why listening is important. You will learn to derive meaning by listening to spoken language with no access to the written form. You will also attempt to answer questions about spoken conversations. Before we get into listening practice, let's cover the bases. We will now discuss the importance of listening practice. Listening isn't as straightforward as reading, speaking, and writing. There are a few factors that can make listening a bit tricky. The first factor that comes into play when listening is connected speech. Spoken language is quite different to written language. When people speak, words no longer exist in isolation. Words connect with each other, and sounds change as a result. For example, when people speak at a normal pace, catch them turns into catch 'em. Going to turns into gonna. Want to turns to wanna. Sometimes we even insert sounds. For example, car is turns to car is. The R sound is inserted. Now, this is only relevant for UK-based accents where the R sound isn't pronounced at the end of words like car. Listen out for these connected speech transformations. They are very common in spoken language, especially with native speakers. They can make listening a little tricky, but you will quickly get used to the speech transformations, and soon you'll be doing them too. Another factor that plays into listening is accents. Now, all writing looks the same, no matter who wrote something, but speech is affected by accents. Accents are different ways of speaking depending on nationality or region. It's important to practice listening so that you can get used to different accents you may come across. If you're planning to travel to a particular country, make sure you familiarize yourself with the local accent. For example, you can watch videos where people use that accent. Lastly, idiosyncrasies come into play. Idiosyncrasies are individual speech habits. Each person speaks differently. Listening practice can help prepare you so that you can understand most people's speech quirks. The IELTS listening section follows a specific structure. The IELTS listening section consists of 4 parts. Each part has 10 questions, so there are 40 questions in total. Each part is a separate recording, so there are 4 recordings in total. There will be recordings of conversations between 2 or more people, and there will be recordings of monologues. A monologue is just one person speaking about a specific topic, like a university lecturer. You will come across various accents, like British, American, Canadian, Australian, New Zealand, etc. You will write your answers on the question paper and then be given time to transfer your answers onto your answer sheet at the end of the session. The listening section will take 30 minutes and you'll be given an extra 10 minutes to transfer your answers onto the answer sheet. There will be various question types like sentence completion, flowchart completion, multiple choice, matching, and so on. Remember that poor spelling and grammar will be penalized, so make sure you check your work. Since this is your first listening practice session for this course, in this lesson you will only listen to 2 recordings instead of 4. There will be only 20 questions instead of 40. Both recordings are conversations between 2 people, so you won't be listening to any monologues yet. The speakers in both recordings have British accents. There will only be 1 question type for this lesson, sentence completion. Now, this lesson is just a simple introduction to listening tests to ease you into it. As you progress within this course, you will be exposed to slightly more challenging practice listening tests to improve your listening skills gradually. Now take out a pen and some paper because it's time to practice. You will now listen to 2 recordings and be given a chance to answer questions about them. Write down the answers while you listen to the recordings. Good luck. In the first recording, a telemarketer tries to persuade a woman to cancel her current insurance policy and switch to Walters Insurance. Please take 15 seconds to read the questions. Great. Now listen to the recording.
Hello?
Good day, madam. May I speak to Miss Kate Walker?
Hi, yes, that's me.
Oh, wonderful. How are you today, Miss Walker?
I'm fine, thanks. May I ask who I'm speaking to?
Yes, my apologies, madam. You are speaking to Daniel Carter. I'm calling you from Walters Insurance Company. Do you have a few minutes to talk?
Sorry, I don't have much time. I'm currently on a lunch break at work. Can you make it quick?
Absolutely, Miss Walker. May I ask who your current insurance provider is?
Oh, it's Smart Insure.
Thank you. And are you happy with Smart Insure?
Actually, lately I've been experiencing some issues with them. I got in a car accident recently and they were supposed to cover the damages, but I ended up paying thousands in excess. It just wasn't fair.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Miss Walker. Insurance providers should always be transparent about what they'll cover in full.
Exactly, but no, they're full of surprises. I'm not a fan of false promises.
That's completely understandable, Miss Walker. Well, I do believe that here at Walters Insurance Company we can give you a much more pleasant experience. May I ask what your monthly insurance premium is?
I pay £44 per month.
All right. Thank you, Miss Walker. I'm confident that we'd be able to beat your premium here at Walters Insurance. Would you like me to give you a quote?
Sure, why not?
Great. This shouldn't take up too much of your time. In order to give you an accurate quote, I do have to ask you a few questions about your vehicle and your parking situation. Is that all right with you, Miss Walker?
Of course, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Okay, what is the model of your vehicle?
Well, I drive a 2013 Fiat 500.
Oh, those are lovely cars, don't you think? They can fit into any parking spot.
Oh, absolutely. Big cars are quite a hassle sometimes. I used to drive one myself. This little Fiat has been a lifesaver.
Oh, I can imagine. Tell me, Miss Walker, where do you park on weekdays?
My work has underground parking.
Behind a locked gate, I presume?
Well, there's a boom gate with a security guard. I suppose that's sort of the same thing, isn't it?
Oh, it's even better. Between which hours of the day would you normally be parked at work?
My work hours are quite flexible, but usually I'm parked at work from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m.
And what is your parking situation at home?
Oh, unfortunately, I park on the street at the moment. I'm waiting for a more secure parking spot to become available at my block of flats. I assure you, though, it's a very secure area. I've never had my car broken into.
Hey, unfortunately, on-street parking does tend to increase insurance premiums quite a bit, especially if you park there overnight. But let me see what I can do. What's the name of the suburb you live in?
Bromley.
How do you spell that?
That's Bromley, Bromley.
Aha! So here on the system, I can see that Bromley is quite a safe, low-risk suburb. That definitely works in your favour.
Now take 30 seconds to check your answers. Please take 15 seconds to read the questions. Now listen to the recording.
Excellent. Do you have enough information to give me a quote yet?
Not quite yet, Miss Walker. I want to cover all the bases first. I wouldn't want to give you incorrect information.
I have to get back to work in a few minutes.
That's completely understandable, Miss Walker. I just have a few more questions, though. Could we perhaps work through them quickly?
Okay, sure.
Thank you very much. You mentioned that you were recently in a car accident. Could you briefly describe the nature of the accident?
Well, it was a minor accident. Nobody got hurt. I didn't see the stop sign and I accidentally drove into another car as it was driving off. It all happened so fast.
I see. Well, that must have been quite distressing, Miss Walker. And what type of damage?
The damage wasn't too bad, just some scratches and dents here and there. The other car looked a little worse than mine, and obviously I had to take care of that damage too, since the accident was my fault.
I see. And prior to this accident, how many other car accidents have you been involved in?
No other car accidents, just that one.
Well, this does sound very promising. Okay, Miss Walker, I don't have any more questions for you. I'd like to send you the details of the quote via email to save your time. May I have your email address, please?
Sure, that's katewalker77@gmail.com.
Great. Let me just confirm I've written this down correctly. That's KATEWALKER 77@gmail.com.
That's right.
Well then, thank you so much for your time, Miss Walker. Please look out for an email from me within the next few minutes. And if you'd like any more information, you can reply to that email.
Will do. Thanks.
Have a wonderful day, Miss Walker.
You too.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Now take 30 seconds to check your answers. In the second recording, a student guidance counsellor speaks with a first-year university student who is experiencing some difficulties at university. Please take 15 seconds to read the questions. Great. Now listen to the recording.
Hi, Mr. Wallace. I think I have an appointment with you now.
Ah, Jackie, yes, and please call me Craig. Have a seat.
Thanks, Craig.
Okay. So I see you're a first-year student. Adapting to university life can be stressful, especially when you come straight out of high school. Being away from home is difficult. How are you coping so far?
Well, I actually took a gap year last year, so luckily I'm used to being away from home.
Oh, that's wonderful. What did you do during your gap year?
I worked as a waitress in London.
Oh, that sounds exciting. Well, it's great to be able to put waitressing on your CV. It shows that you can multitask and that you're a hard worker. And London is a beautiful city.
Yes, it was great.
I see you're from Lichfield. That's a small, lovely little town. Quite a difference between Lichfield and London, don't you think?
Definitely, Lichfield is rather small. I adjusted to the big city life in London quite quickly, though.
So, Jackie, is there anything in particular you'd like to discuss with me today?
Yes. I'm finding the workload a little, heavy.
I see. Looks like you're a law student. It's quite normal to feel that way, especially at the start of the first year. Can you tell me a little bit about your workload and how you're currently dealing with it?
Well, I've got about 4 assignments to complete each week. I spend most of my time in the library trying to get through all the work, but I just can't focus.
Wow! 4 assignments per week. That must put a great deal of pressure on you.
Right.
Now take 30 seconds to check your answers. Please take 15 seconds to read the questions. Great. Now listen to the recording.
What's your social life like at university so far? Have you made any good friends yet?
Not really. Well, I suppose I know a few people. There's this one girl I get along with quite well. We have a few classes together. Her name's Jenny.
Well, that's wonderful. Is Jenny also battling with the workload?
Not really. She's really smart. But then again, she loves studying law. Her lifelong dream is to become a lawyer.
And that's not your dream?
I haven't really thought about that.
Well, that's understandable. Most first-year students aren't completely sure about their career goals just yet. Do you find the study material interesting at all?
Not really. It's quite boring, to be honest. It's just that my dad is a lawyer and he really wants me to follow in his footsteps.
Do you want to follow in his footsteps, though?
Well, yes, but also no. It's complicated. I want to make him proud of me, but at the same time I think I'd enjoy studying something else, like art. But I mean, it's too late for that now.
You know, Jackie, if you want to continue studying law, that's completely up to you. But I do want to inform you that it isn't too late to change your courses. The university allows for courses to be changed within the first month of your student career. That means that you can still change to a different course if you want to. You can still study art if that's what you wish to do.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think my dad would be happy with me if I changed courses.
Of course, it will be disappointing for him, but don't you think that at the end of the day he just wants to see you happy?
Yes, I guess so.
I tell you what then, Jenny, just take a week to think about it. Maybe you'll start enjoying your law subjects a little bit more as you settle in. Or maybe you'll realize that it's best to change to a different course. Sometimes it just helps to take a little time to think about things.
Okay, I suppose that's a good idea.
And you can come back and see me whenever you want to talk about it.
Thanks, Craig.
No, it's not a problem at all. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss with me?
Well, it's a little embarrassing, but I'm struggling to make friends. Jenny is great, but she spends most of her time studying.
First of all, that's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's completely normal. Have you considered joining some clubs?
Oh, I haven't really thought about that.
Well, do you have any hobbies or interests?
I suppose I'm curious about photography, but I'm not too good at it. That's why I didn't join the photography club.
Well, the photography club is open to all levels of experience. You don't need to be a professional photographer to join. The purpose of the photography club is to help give students a chance to help each other and better themselves.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yes, I definitely recommend joining. The photography club has lots of meetings and social gatherings. If you show up to some, then you could make some new friends who have similar interests to you.
Oh, that sounds great. How do I join?
Oh, there's a bulletin board outside the Great Hall. You can sign up there.
Opposite the Great Hall?
Yes. Do you know where the Great Hall is?
It's the hall with a giant statue in front of it, right?
That's the one.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks so much, Craig.
It's not a problem at all, Jackie. Anything else you need, I'm here to talk.
I appreciate it.
Bye now.
Now take 30 seconds to check your answers. Well done on completing your first listening practice for this course. Let's check your answers now. Daniel Carter works at Walters Insurance Company. He would like to persuade Kate to take out insurance at this company. He needs to ask her a few questions to be able to give her an accurate premium quote. Miss Walker drives a 2013 Fiat 500. Her car is normally parked at work during weekdays from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. At night, her car is parked on the street outside her home in Bromley. Miss Walker is in a hurry because she is at work. Daniel assures her that the call will be quick. Miss Walker's recent car accident was her fault and resulted in minor damage. She has only been involved in one car accident. Miss Walker's email address is katewalker77@gmail.com. Jackie is a first-year university student. Before she came to university, she took a gap year. She spent the year working as a waitress in London. She is originally from Lichfield, which is a small city. Jackie is currently studying law. She is finding it a little challenging. She is expected to submit 4 assignments per week. Jackie has one friend named Jenny. It's Jenny's lifelong dream to become a lawyer. Jackie is interested in switching to a degree in art. Jackie would like to make more friends at university. Her guidance counselor recommends she joins the photography club. She can sign up at the bulletin board opposite the Great Hall. And those are all the questions. How many answers did you get right? It's okay if you didn't get them all. That's why you practiced. Remember that there are more listening practice lessons coming up later in this course. In most day-to-day situations, it's extremely important to sound polite in conversations, both on the phone and in person. You will learn some strategies to sound polite and get messages across appropriately. You'll notice that in Module 2, you'll learn a lot more about the functional side of English. In other words, your practical skills will multiply. So I look forward to seeing you at the next lesson. For your lesson challenge, this week, try to replace all your usual viewing content like series, videos, etc. with English content. For example, start watching a new English series, or if you are already watching one, turn off the subtitles. The purpose of this challenge is to help you to get used to different forms of spoken English. Everyone speaks differently, and sometimes it can be challenging to understand native speakers. The more you familiarize yourself with spoken English in your everyday life, the easier it will be for you to understand spoken English in your real life interactions.